If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Rev and the Rabbi.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Good morning. I'm Rabbi Joseph Potasnik.
And I'm Reverend A.R. Bernard.
Reverend, this has been a tragic week in the history of the FDNY with the passing of firefighter Patrick Brady. And we're going to discuss that and what it means for the city, for the department, with the 35th Fire Commissioner of New York, the Honorable Robert S. Tucker. Commissioner Tucker, thank you for being with us on this difficult day.
Thanks, Rabbi. Thanks, Reverend. Good to talk to both of you.
Yeah. You know, people see a name, Patrick Brady, and obviously they don't know the person. They may not know the story, although some of the newspapers have given some detail. Talk about him from your perspective.
Well, look, the department is in mourning. Pat represents everything that's great about FDNY. A larger-than-life figure, seemingly the mayor of the Rockaways, friends with everybody. Nobody has a bad word to say about him. And, really, by all accounts, an amazing human being that we lost. Great firefighter, great husband, great son, great brother. Just an all-around magical guy.
Yeah. FDNY runs through the veins of the family, right?
I didn't hear. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm sorry. I talked over my colleague here. But I think it's important. Our show is nationally syndicated. So can you give us some context? What exactly happened? What transpired, if that's okay?
Yeah. Sure. Firefighter Brady was what we call the roof man at an all-hands fire in Brooklyn on the top of a apartment building. He ascended an aerial ladder with all of his equipment. When he got to the top, he was not feeling well. The fire was still ongoing and not under control. And as he began to work on the roof, he collapsed, apparently went into cardiac arrest. And our rescue paramedics, as well as our firefighters and other medical professionals, went to work on him right away. He was brought out of the fire building, removed to Brookdale Hospital, where he was pronounced dead.
And being a firefighter is something that is not new to his family. I had the privilege of meeting some of them. There's a lot of FDNY in that family.
Yeah, there's really two families in the FDNY. Your family, and then your FDNY family. And not only was he a part of an FDNY family, he was also a brother, a firefighter, so he was a part of really two big FDNY families, and we are all really beside ourselves over his passing.
Was there any pre-existing conditions that he or his family or the department may have been aware of?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about his health. What I would say is that being a firefighter is so stressful, and every one of our members who do this heroic job is subject to an unusual amount of stress when they are fighting fires or even responding, our EMTs and paramedics, there's no real difference in their health-related stress on the job. And so there's been lots and lots of data produced on stress levels, heart rates, blood pressure, etc., of both cops and firemen, EMTs and paramedics, who are just driving in an emergency mode to an incident. And so the stress really starts when the bell goes off and you're racing to the fire truck, getting dressed, putting on bunker gear, getting into the truck, and then racing out of the firehouse. And it goes from there, and then it just increases.
Yeah, Commissioner, the reason I asked the question was not to dig into his personal life, but for the public to understand, number one, what's the weight of the equipment that a fire has to carry, and talk a little bit about the training that goes into preparing these individuals before they actually get out on the job as appropriate.
Yeah, when our firefighters are in our state-of-the-art, world-class academy located on Randall's Island here in New York City, they're there for 18 weeks, and it is rigorous. It is really, really focused, and we are hoping to produce some of the best firefighters in the world. But the training really just begins when they graduate and they go into the firehouses that we assign them to, and they begin to drill with more senior firefighters. And that's really when they learn the intricacies and the nuances of this highly specialized the work that they do.
We're going to have to take a break in a moment, Rev. When we come back, I know you have a question. And Commissioner, I also want you to describe what is known as a dignified transfer, something that I witnessed this past week. Of course, you were there. It's almost indescribable, but I think people have to know what takes place. So we'll be back.
Yeah, so stay tuned for more of The Rev and the Rabbi right here on Red Apple Radio Networks.
The Rev and the Rabbi on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This shrimp and coconut sauce is divine. What's your secret?
Goya coconut milk.
How does it taste so good?
It's all in that real coconut flavor and that rich, creamy texture.
What about thickeners and added sugars?
None. Just smooth, coconutty goodness.
What can I make with it?
From curries to sweet treats like coconut flan, the possibilities are endless.
Goya coconut milk. Take your cooking to the next level. No question about it. Find it in the Goya section of your local grocery store. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans. Even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes, now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox, clean feels good.
Every story you love, every invention that moves you, every idea you wished was yours, all began as nothing. Just a blank page with a blinking cursor, asking a simple question. What do you see? Great ideas start on Mac. Find out more on apple.com/Mac.
The Rev and the Rabbi on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back. I'm Rabbi Joseph Potasnik.
And I'm Reverend A.R. Bernard. Commissioner, my son is actually a volunteer firefighter out on Long Island where he lives, and he loves it. In fact, it was just this past week that they were engaged in a fire, a very serious fire. And one of the things that amazed me, he comes back and he says, "Dad, we did this together, we did that together." This whole sense of community. In fact, my other son, who's a chef, came in and cooked for the whole department, and they feasted together. But speak to this community that develops over time that you become a part of.
Yeah, I am so happy that you get to see that in the way that you do. The FDNY is a family, but it's not just our active members. Our retired members are as much a part of the grieving process because they knew Pat and they know the Brady family so well. I think this is something that all fire departments have. When you are part of the fire service, you're really one family. And the volunteers that really do service most of America is protected by volunteer fire departments. It's very unusual to have a large paid fire service. It's only reserved for the largest cities, New York City, Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas, Chicago, these are Miami, but that's not America. America is much smaller cities than that. Towns, villages, these are protected by volunteers. And let me just say that as the commissioner of the largest fire department in the country, I have a world of respect for those individuals who volunteer as fully trained firefighters and drop what they're doing and race out of their homes, out of christenings and out of bar mitzvahs and out of birthday parties and dinners to go for free to help others. And so, we have volunteer firehouses still in Queens, in the Rockaways, on Staten Island, and wow. they help us too. So it's a little known fact that there are still a few small volunteer fire companies in New York City, and believe it or not, some of those volunteers are actually my active duty firefighters who also volunteer their time when they're not working for FDNY.
Wow. I want to ask you and I were together for what is known as a dignified transfer. Can you describe what that means for people who are not familiar with the protocol?
Yeah, it's a very, very special ceremony when we're moving the body of a member of the fire department who dies in the line of duty. So there's essentially three movements, if you will. There's the movement from the hospital to the office of the chief medical examiner. That's one movement. We do that in a dignified way where, with our partners from the NYPD, there's a large escort. We station apparatus to respectfully salute the motorcade. People pull over and salute us also. Then from the office of the chief medical examiner, we move the body again in a highly dignified way from the office of the chief medical examiner to the funeral home. And then finally, after the funeral, we move the body in a highly dignified way from, in this case, the church to the burial site.
What I was taken with is that everything stopped. First of all, the patrol, the police patrols made sure there was no traffic. You couldn't enter the highway. But to see people stop and salute, to express their gratitude for someone who gave his life for the city of New York, I found so moving, so meaningful. You talk about community. there's community with people you don't even know, people who love you, who've never met you.
I've seen it also, Rabbi, where civilian that we don't even know pull their cars over, get out of their cars, and just stand there and salute. It is beautiful.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. You personally, Commissioner, you went from the business world to commissioner of the largest fire department in the country, I understand. But you had a long-term relationship with the FDNY, and that's why you could be embraced the way you have been embraced by them. Speak a little bit about that relationship.
Yeah, well, I have served on the board of the FDNY Foundation for many, many years. But please, Reverend, know that I don't take for granted for one moment the reception that the members of this department have given me since day one. It has been really something that I cherish, and it's something that I know I don't have to have had. And I also, as I said, don't take for a minute that for granted, because I know it's special. And I hope that the members of the FDNY know that I've got their back.
Rev, you should see, by the way, the deep respect, profound respect that Commissioner Tucker receives from members of the FDNY who are so thankful that he is the commissioner, because what he does, and Commissioner, I've seen you do it, everyone is treated as being special, whether it's someone who's part-time, full-time, doesn't matter what your position is. You walk over, you shake the hand, you express your appreciation for service to the FDNY. That matters so much to people there, and I've heard it many times.
And I've witnessed it. I witnessed it personally, because it's more than the uniform. It's a connection, that you in a relationship. Commissioner, please proceed. It's
been the honor of a lifetime to serve as the 35th New York City Fire Commissioner. As both of you know, it's been a lifelong dream come true. And once you have an awesome responsibility of running the greatest fire department in the world, you have got to work, turn the treadmill up to 12 and sprint every day for these guys, because they're doing that for the 8.5 million New Yorkers and lots of visitors, and they deserve nothing less than my heartfelt respect and my love, and that's what they have gotten. But be assured, I feel it back from them. It's a two-way street, and this job is giving much more than it's getting.
Well, legacy, Commissioner, is something that we don't accidentally leave, even though it can happen that way, but it should be intentional. What do you want your legacy to be with the fire department?
Look, I've had a wonderful life, very blessed life, and this is the cherry on the icing on the cake for me. But I hope that I'm remembered as a members commissioner. I hope that I'm remembered as someone who cared deeply for every single person that wears this patch, whether it's our fire inspectors or our dispatchers or our fire marshals, obviously our firefighters, our EMTs, our paramedics, but our awesome civilian staff in our medical office, in our computer division. You just can't believe how amazing the men and women are who work for the FDNY. And you think you know what it's like because you spent years on the board of the FDNY Foundation. Frankly, you know nothing. You know nothing until you become a part of it. And once you become a part of it, it's a family. I believe I'll be a part of it for the rest of my life.
So, Commissioner, speaking of legacy, I want to personally say thank you to you, because recently you asked me to serve as the chief chaplain of FDNY. And it also is a great accomplishment in my professional life. It also speaks highly of your impeccable judgment. But really, I've served,
Commissioner. He had to do this.
I've served, a community, congregation, board of rabbis. But to be in the company of FDNY is something that really, it brings you, this heartwarming. If you feel that your life, what have you accomplished, and you look back at FDNY and say, this really mattered. This was transformational. So I'm very grateful to you.
Rabbi, first of all, congratulations. I should call you Chief.
That's right.
Chief, congratulations.
Yeah. Chief.
And let me say this. There was not one person, no one who dissented from the notion that we were going to make you chief. In fact, many people said, "Isn't he already the chief chaplain?" You are the first chief chaplain of the FDNY ever. And there is not a better person who lives, breathes, bleeds FDNY blood more than you do. I mean, look, everywhere you go, I see the FDNY logo on your lapel.
Yeah, thank you. And Rev, from now on, as you understand, Chief.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner, for being with us again. Always a pleasure having you on the program.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you to both of you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Stay strong.
And stay tuned for more of The Rev and the Rabbi right here on Red Apple Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to The Rev and the Rabbi. You can hear The Rev and the Rabbi Sunday mornings at 7. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.